share the PDF. So in the last class, so today we'll continue about the secondary structure of the protein. Now the secondary structure is related with the conformation of the peptide chain present in the protein molecules. Okay. Now in this secondary structures, the polypeptide chains can be folded into the regular structures, and the different structures of the proteins are present in the secondary structures, such as during after the folding, the alpha helix or beta sheet and turn loop structures are formed. Okay, so there is a folding of short 3 to 30 residues, means 3 to 30 amino acids with continuous segments, and here the polypeptides provides a geometrically ordered units. Okay, so after the folding structures in the protein, that is in the secondary structures, the regular geometrical ordered units are generated. So here in the protein structures, this secondary structure deals with the conformation of the peptide chains present in the protein molecules, and it is quite possible attention has been given to the possible ways in which the peptide chains are generally arranged as to give a stable conformation structures. Okay? So generally two different conformations are alpha helix and beta conformations, which was provided by the Linus Pauling and Robert Corey. Okay. So first we take the alpha helix structure. This is a coiled structure. This alpha helix structure is a coiled structure which was established by the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, and this alpha helix was simultaneously proposed in 1951 for alpha keratin molecule protein by the Linus Pauling and R.B. Corey along with F.C.H. Crick. Okay, so this structure was proposed in 1951 for representing the secondary structure of the protein. So this alpha helix structure arises due to the resonance in peptide linkage and the hydrogen bonding present between the NH group and CO, carbonyl group and the amide group along the protein chain. So because this amide group, NH2 group, amino group and the carbonyl group, that is the carboxylic acid group, is present in the amino acid, and when they combine through a condensation reaction takes place, and there is a removal of the water molecule, and there is a peptide bond which is formed between the nitrogen of the amino group and carbon of the carboxylic acid group. So there is a resonating structures, and this resonating structure is present in the peptide linkage. Okay, so here the alpha helical structure of the protein, each turn of the helix, it generally has nearly 3.7 amino acid, and it is at a distance of 5.4 Armstrong from each other. So यहाँ पर see in the figure, there is a resonance in the peptide linkage which I have discussed here, and in the resonance the negative and the positive charge is generated. Okay, so negative charge is generated on the oxygen atom because bond pair of electron which is present between the carbon and the oxygen is shifted towards the oxygen atom, and this due to which the oxygen atom gets the negative charge, and this lone pair of electron which is present on the nitrogen atom is shifted between the carbon and the nitrogen, due to which the nitrogen gets the positive charge. Okay, so then this provides a resonating structure between the in the peptide linkage. Okay, so due to this resonating structure, the hydrogen bond is present between the NH and CO group. So in the alpha helical structure of protein, as I have told that each turn of the helix has 3.7 amino acids and having a distance of 5.4 Armstrong from each other. So the distance between the two amino acids are the distance between the each turn is 5.4 Armstrong, okay, from each other. So the turn has, यहाँ पर देखिए in the figure, the turn is given in the alpha helix structure. So for the each turn, the 5.4 Armstrong distance is present and the hydrogen intramolecular hydrogen bonding is present. ठीक है? So within a molecule, there is a hydrogen bonding, and because of this hydrogen bonding, the alpha helix structure attains the stability. So this hydrogen bonding present free rotation. ये जो हमारा हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग फॉर्म होता है विद इन अ प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल, दैट इज द इंट्रा molecular hydrogen bonding provides a free rotation, and because of this the helix is rigid. It gives a rigid structure, and further at least 3 adjacent hydrogen bonds must be broken before the free rotation can occur in a segment of helix. Okay? And means that if we want to rotate the helix segment, alpha helix segment, then at least 3 hydrogen bonds which is present in continuation must be broken. ठीक है, उसी के बाद ही जो हमारा secondary structure होता है that comes in rotation, otherwise it is present in a rigid form. So this figure shows the alpha helix structure showing the hydrogen bond present between the oxygen and the oxygen of CO group and hydrogen of the NH group. Okay, see the structure, and it is given in the page number 202 in the PDF. So this hydrogen bond lies along the axis of the coil which is formed, and it serves to maintain the spacing between the two turns. So ये hydrogen bonds हमारा rigidity provide करता है, stability provide करता है. Along with this, it also maintains the spacing between the two bonds. And this alpha helix turns may be left or rotated right-handed. So it is more rotation जो होता है, it is in right-handed form. This structure is more stable. Okay, so there is a diagram of the diameter of the helix is 10 Armstrong. इससे ज़्यादा diameter नहीं होता है for the alpha helix. And here the smaller helix is a part of the large helix, and each large helix has nearly 13 turns of the smaller helix. ठीक है, तो जितने भी large helix which are formed by the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, that large secondary structure of a protein, large helix contains at least 13 smaller helix. Okay, is that clear? So the determination is done by the X-ray analysis. X-ray analysis is the method which is used to determine the helical structure of a protein. And here generally all the polypeptide chains which does not forms alpha helix, because of the stability of the helix depends upon the nature and the sequence of the side chains in the polypeptide chains. Okay, so the amount of helix which is formed varies in the protein, which range from 0 to 100%, and the amount of the helical content in the protein is estimated by means of optical rotation, by means of optical rotatory dispersion and IR studies. These are the methods which are used to determine the alpha helical structures. Okay, so this was the first structure, first type of secondary structure. Now next we move to the second type of the secondary structure, that is the beta conformation. And here the sheets of the beta conformations are formed. This was the alpha helical structure in a circular form, which was stable due to the intramolecular hydrogen bonding, that is the hydrogen bonding which is formed within a molecule. That was for the helical structure. And next we take the beta conformation, and this beta conformation was first proposed by Paulings et al. In 1951. And in the beta conformation means there is a plated sheets of the secondary structure, and in this plated sheets the polypeptide chains are generally extended. There is an extension of the polypeptide chains, and the chains are held together by intermolecular hydrogen bonding. ठीक है, यहाँ पर क्या होता है, multiple polypeptide chains are there, two or more polypeptide chains are there, and these polypeptide chains are bonded with each other. They are bonded with each other through the intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Now, intermolecular hydrogen bonding means the hydrogen bonding present between the two molecules. Okay. So यहाँ पर भी हमारे पास two polypeptide chains are present, two polymer chains, polypeptide chains present होती हैं, and in between these two polypeptide chains, the hydrogen bonding is formed. ठीक है. So this hydrogen bond is responsible for this intermolecular hydrogen bond is responsible for the formation of the beta conformation or beta plated sheets. Okay, for the secondary structure. So the beta plated sheets, which is formed in the secondary structure of a protein, can be parallel or it can be anti-parallel. Okay, so the parallel beta conformation sheet means all the polypeptide chains run in the same direction, such as keratin. They move in a same direction, and in the anti-parallel chains, the chain runs alternatively in the opposite direction. Okay, so anti-parallel chain such as fibroin hai, and here the direction of the chain is opposite to each other, and in the parallel polypeptide chains, the direction or the chains run in the same directions. For example, keratin. So here also the existence of the plate sheet structure is in solid protein has been confirmed by the X-ray analysis. So X-ray analysis method is used for the confirmation of this protein structure. Here in the diagram, see the first structure of the beta conformation, that is the parallel plated sheets, and in the parallel plated sheets, the hydrogen bond is present between the two chains. Okay, and in the anti-parallel sheets also, in the parallel plated sheets, the NH group and the CO group of each amino acid are respectively hydrogen bonded to CO group and the NH group of the protein on the adjacent chains. Okay, so there is a bonding between the CO group forms a bond with the NH group. One polypeptide chain, CO group of one polypeptide chain forms a bond with the NH group of the other polypeptide chains. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर हमारे पास this is for the parallel plated sheets, and here also in the anti-parallel plated sheet, the NH group is bonded, hydrogen bonded to CO group of the amino acids on the adjacent strands or adjacent polypeptide chains, where the CO group is hydrogen bonded to the NH group on the amino acid of the two residues further along. Okay, so see the structure. So in the parallel, there is the OH bond is formed. This hydrogen bond is formed in the continuation in the anti-parallel sheets. The hydrogen bond is present between the NH group and the CO group, but it is the two residues. The gap is the two residues. मतलब दो amino acids को छोड़ के उसके third amino acid से bonding होगी. ठीक है, और पैरेलल में क्या था कि कंटिन्यूएशन फॉर्म में जो अमीनो एसिड्स प्रेजेंट है उनके साथ ही सबकी बॉन्डिंग हो रही है. So this is how the bonding is formed in the parallel and in the anti-parallel sheets. Okay, so So the X-ray analysis method is used for the determination of the structure of the proteins. And here the calculated bond distance between the two CHR groups on the same side of the protein is 7.2 Armstrong. This is for the anti-parallel sheets, and the difference between this is due to the overcrowding caused by the side chains, which in turn prevents the chain from being fully extended. Okay, so this overcrowding prevents the extension of the chain. So there is no further extension of the chain in the anti-parallel forms. And in the parallel sheets, all the polypeptide chains runs in the same direction. ये तो हम लोग पहले discuss कर चुके हैं. An example is the keratin, and here the straight linear structure is formed in the secondary structure of the parallel sheets. ठीक है? So there is a relation between the alpha and the beta keratins. Keratin has two structures, that is, one is the alpha and another one is the beta keratin. So in the alpha keratin, when the alpha keratin is placed in the water molecule, the hydrogen bond is formed between the CO and the NH group, which are broken because of the formation of the hydrogen bonds between the water and the CO group and NH group of the protein. ठीक है, यहाँ पर इंट्रामोलिकुलर हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड ब्रेक होता है, and that hydrogen bond, intramolecular hydrogen bond is broken, and then the hydrogen bond is formed between the protein molecule and the water. And when there is a formation of the hydrogen bond between the protein molecule and the water, some of the protein get dissolved in the water. Okay, so hence जो भी hair होता है, that hair is stretched to form the plated sheets and the beta keratin structures. Okay, so this beta keratin structures are generally recovered to alpha keratin on drying the fibers. So when the fiber is dried, when the water is removed, drying मतलब क्या हो गया? Because water के साथ hydrogen bonding हो रही थी, तो इसका मतलब है that mix up with the water. And when the water is removed, then alpha beta keratin structure is recovered to the alpha keratin structure, or the alpha keratin structure is obtained. इतना clear है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this was the secondary structure of the protein. Next we have the tertiary structure of the protein, and this tertiary structure is non-linear. Secondary structure हमारा branched की category में आता है, and tertiary structure is non-linear, and it refers to the 3D structure, that is the coiling or the folding of long peptide chains with or without a helical region into a final structure. Okay, so in this case, the assembly of the secondary unit, here the secondary unit is assembled into a large functional unit such as the mature polypeptide and its components domains. Okay, so in this structure, the overall determination, this structure describes the overall spatial arrangement of the polypeptide chains, how the polypeptide chains are arranged in the space, and it gives an exact amount of molecular shape in most of the small and medium-sized proteins. Okay, so here also the two major shapes are formed. So in the tertiary structures, the two major shapes are formed, that is the fibrous and the globular. Okay, fibrous and globular we have discussed in the, where we have discussed about the fibrous and the globular protein.
Classification and
Classification of protein.
Classification of the protein.
protein.
So in the fibrous, first we take the fibrous protein. Now this fibrous protein has a large helical content and are essentially rigid molecule of rod-like shape. Okay? And the globular protein have a polypeptide chain consisting partially of helical section, which is folded about in a random coil section to give a spherical shape. Okay? So यहाँ पर हमारे पास fibrous protein has a helical content and it is a rod-like shape, and the globular protein is present in folded form and it has a spherical shape. So, for example, the chymotrypsin, which have a 3 chains, that is ABC, which are joined by disulfide bonds. Here, the disulfide bond is present in the chymotrypsin, and this lysosomes in 1965 having one chain of 129 residue, and ribonuclei in 1967 having one chain of 124 residues. And in this case, the 3 different types of bonds are responsible for the tertiary structure of the proteins. Okay. So यहाँ पर जो bond present होते हैं in which is responsible for the tertiary structure of the proteins are the hydrogen bonds. Second one is the ionic bond, and third one is the hydrophobic bond. Okay. And along with these bonds, that is along with the hydrogen bond, ionic bond or hydrophobic bonds, the other types of bonds are also present, such as disulfide bonds, which maintains the tertiary structure in generally, which includes the primary structure because of its covalent nature. Okay. So first we discuss about the hydrogen bonding. So here the hydrogen bond is present between the side chains, which may arise due to the number of residues. Okay, so यहाँ पर hydrogen bonds present होते हैं between the side chains, which is arising due to the number of different residues present in a chain. Okay. For example, in the threonine, in the serine, in the tyrosines, the hydroxyl group is present, which is responsible for the hydrogen bonding. So in this case, the hydroxyl group in serine, threonine, and tyrosine, etc., and the amino group in histidine and tryptophan, or the peptide backbone, and oxygen atom on the aspartic or glutamic acid units, and carbonyl group on the peptide chains, is responsible for the formation of the hydrogen bonding. ठीक है, तो जितने भी amino groups होते हैं, all these amino groups can easily form the hydrogen bonds. So this hydrogen bond is present between the side chains, which may arise due to the number of the residues, okay, which is present here. Now next type of the bond, that is there is an electrostatic forces or the ionic bond. Now this ionic bond may be the force of the electrostatic force, or the ionic force is the force of the repulsion or the force of the attraction. Okay? And this repulsion or attraction depends upon the charge on the polar groups. The polar group which is present, उसके ऊपर जो charge होता है positive या negative charge, on the basis of these positive or negative charge, the repulsion or attraction takes place. Now attraction कब होगा? When the opposite poles comes together, then there is a formation of the electrostatic forces, and there is an attraction between the two units. And when the same poles comes together, it means positive end अगर एक साथ है, or two negative ends are together, then there is a repulsion between the molecules or between the chains. Okay. So here two polar groups are carboxylate CO group and the ammonium groups. ये हमारे polar groups present होते हैं in a amino acid. And जैसे मैंने अभी बताया कि when the like charge particles are closer to each other, like charge polar groups are closer to each other, then the repulsive forces arises, which destabilizes the protein conformation. ठीक है, तो protein structure destabilize कब होगा? जब repulsive forces work करेंगे. And when the polar groups have unlike charge, यानी कि opposite charge present होते हैं, different charge present होते हैं, then the attractive forces stabilizes the conformation. Conformation को stabilize करता है, and there is an attraction between the two chains. Okay. So such attractive forces are generally referred to as the ionic bond or the salt linkages present between the two polypeptide chains to provide the stability for the tertiary structure of a protein. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर stability किसकी वजह से आती है? Attractive forces की वजह से, and Molecules unstable कब होता है? Due to the repulsive forces. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
So the charge which is present on a molecule, that is the carboxylate group or the ammonium group, that charge depends upon the pH of a solution, and this conformation also depends upon the pH. Okay. So generally it is investigated, this is investigated by the crystallography, that majority of the charge residues tends to remain on the exterior of a molecule. So generally charges जो होते हैं, they are present on the exterior of a molecule. Okay. So this was the second type of charge. And here also one more thing is there, that is the nature and the number of the ionic bond explains the electrolytic behavior and the solubility property of a protein. So the nature of the bond and the number of the bond which is present in a molecules, it explains about how the protein molecule is soluble, how much it is soluble, and what is the electrolytic behavior of the protein. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Along with this second type of structure, we have the third type of bonds which is present in a molecule, that is the hydrophobic bond. And this hydrophobic bond is generally formed between the hydrocarbon like side chains between two methyl or the phenyl groups. Okay. And this is preferred to be in the interior of the protein molecule, where there is less water molecule. As the name suggests, hydrophobic. Hydrophobic means water repellent. Okay. तो हाइड्रोफोबिक बॉन्ड वहां पर प्रेजेंट होगा जहां पर वाटर के प्रेजेंट होने के चांसेस बहुत कम, और किसी भी प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल में वाटर के प्रेजेंट होने के चांसेस कब कहाँ कम होंगे? एट द इंटीरियर ऑफ द प्रोटीन, है ना. आउटसाइड में तो क्या है, प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल्स कैन बी सराउंडेड बाय द वाटर मॉलिक्यूल ड्यू टू सर्टेन रीजन, है ना. जब हम लोग प्रोटीन को वाटर में डिसॉल्व करेंगे तो प्रोटीन मॉलिक्यूल जो एक्सटीरियर पार्ट होगा दैट विल गेट सराउंडेड बाय द water molecule, but the interior part remains protected, है ना. It is water repellent part, and the large chances are there कि वहां पर water molecule present नहीं होगा. Okay. तो जहां पर water molecule present नहीं होता है, in that case, in that area, the hydrophobic bonds are present. Okay. So in addition to these, the polar group interaction with the water on the surface of the atmosphere surface is also possible. So there is interaction of the polar group on the surface of the surface of the protein, but they are less important than the non-polar forces. Okay, इतना clear है? So यहाँ पर see the structure. This first structure is the highly folded structure, and it can be converted into unfolded structure. Highly folded structure means generally tertiary or quaternary structure, and it is converted into linear structure on denaturation of the protein. When the protein is denatured, how it is denatured? When the protein is exposed to heat, when it is exposed to light, ultraviolet radiations, exposed to chemicals, then the protein get denatured. And during this denaturation of the protein, the tertiary structure, coiled structure, spherical shape, globular form is converted into the straight chain linear structure. Okay? So certain chemicals, when the protein comes in contact with the acids, in contact with the alkalis or organic solvents, alcohols, acetones, urea, etc., then the protein molecule has large chances of denaturation. Okay? So this unfolding means जो folded structure होता है, जो वहां पर bonds present होंगे, ionic bond, covalent bond, hydrogen bond, hydrophobic bonds, जो भी different types of forces present होते हैं, that forces are removed. And there is an unfolding of the protein. And this unfolding process of a protein is known as the denaturation of the protein. Okay. And sometimes this denaturation is, हम लोग पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं, it is the reversible or irreversible denaturation. Reversible denaturation means a protein attain its original structure, and irreversible means when the protein does not attain the original structure, it remains in the denatured form, and this takes place when the protein is violently treated. Okay, then the irreversible denaturation takes place, and when the protein is gently treated, then the reversible denaturation process takes place. So for example, when the protein is gently treated with the urea, so urea is a chemical, so when the protein is treated with the urea, then the reversible denaturation takes place. That is, after the removal of chemical, the protein structure is attained. Okay. So denaturation means secondary or tertiary structures जो होते हैं that are completely lost without any breakage in the primary structure. So secondary or tertiary structure is converted into the primary structure of a protein. That is the denaturation. So primary structure are generally the chain form में, linear form में present होता है, right? So यहाँ पर हमारे पास secondary structure में bonds present होते हैं, intramolecular hydrogen bonding, intermolecular hydrogen bonding, and tertiary structures में भी different forces present होती हैं, hydrophobic forces. Then we have the electrostatic forces. Then the hydrogen bonds are present. So all these are broken, and they are converted into the simple protein molecules, that is in a linear form of the protein is attained. So along with this, the denatured proteins alters completely in the physical property and becomes less soluble at its isoelectric points. Along with this, if a protein has some biological activity, it is also lost during the denaturation. That is, for example, if we take an enzyme, then enzymes get deactivated at the elevated temperature, at the high temperature. So the examples are given in the PDF. You can go through it, and if you have any doubt, then you can ask. Okay?
Okay, ma'am.
इतना clear हुआ secondary structure?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So up to the secondary structure, 2D structure होता है, tertiary structure is a 3D structure.
3D structure.
And finally, we have the last structure, that is the quaternary structure,